Hello folks, good evening. I hope as usual I'm going to just wait for 30 seconds, 40 seconds to make sure that the audio and video are clear. I hope you can see me and hear me clearly. I'm just having a look at the chat window just to make sure all the tech is working fine. And so it probably pays to spend that extra half a minute, 1 minute getting the tech right before we jump in and have a session. It's going to be an open-ended session, pretty much solely focused on Q&A, not with any specific theme. Of course, the ambient team all over the place is COVID. So we're going to discuss that. And before we go further, pardon the title, How to Prepare with COVID. What we meant is how to prepare during these COVID times, not with COVID. I hope all of you are staying safe, taking all precautions, maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, the whole shebang. And so I find myself to be guilty of not being careful with it every now and then. In office, I just grab a coffee and then I go off to the next place without wearing the mask. Always somebody saying, look, hey, be careful. We all need our reminders. So be switched on, be careful. And I guess the audio and video are all fine. I've not got any feedback saying they can't hear me or they can't see me. If you can, just type in a comment saying audio and video are good or clear. There's no confusion with that. It'll be lovely. Happy New Year's Day to several people for whom this tomorrow or today marks the beginning of the year. So we in India follow several calendars. I think Tamil New Year Day, Ugadi, Vishu, several things are falling in the April 13th, 14th window. Happy New Year. New Year is always a wonderful time. So it's a time for new beginnings, auspicious time. So it's several boxes get ticked. All of us want to start from a clean slate. And I guess we've suffered long enough with COVID. I think we've crossed a year since when lockdown 1.0 announced, and when suddenly we were told that we had to shut down. We shut down probably a couple of weeks before that. So it's been more than 12 months, closing in on 13 months since the time since the time COVID was a new word to all of us. So it has been a big challenge to handle this. All of us have learned how to do work on Zoom and Google Hangouts and Meet and Microsoft. Several things. We've learned the idea of a new normal and all of that. Fine. So not all good, but I think overall we've all coped reasonably well. And hopefully the worst is behind us, even though the numbers don't tell us like that. The cases are skyrocketing in several places. I think the hospital system and the general environment and doctors, they've cracked some protocols, so things are not as bad as they were a year ago, even though the cases are shooting up. People know how to handle it, manage it better. It is no longer a new thing, which is a big relief. But I think the danger is still with us. So be very careful. Continue to hang on to that. And I'm going to take questions more or less throughout. But I'm just going to give a broad outline on how to prepare during these times based on our experience of last year. And Utkarsh Khanna is very curious to know what the score is that's available on the website. Please do check it out straight away up front. It's there, the scorecard, details, everything is available. Please do check it out. What is different this time is that we've got one more year to process this. Right? So we know what to do if there's a lockdown or restriction or some time restriction or anything. We've seen the whole shebang, the entire vocabulary, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., partial lockdown, 50% this, full lockdown, all of that. We know what to do in each of those scenarios. And so, preparation-wise, maintain your discipline, very crucial, especially if you're working from home steadily and your discipline goes out of whack. I've found several guys not knowing when their work day begins, when their work day ends, how they catch their breaks for CAT preparation. It doesn't happen. You feel like there's so much time with you and you feel like so much time is going waste, and you don't have this feeling of having accomplished anything for the day. So discipline is paramount. Make sure you have some form of schedule. If your official calls go from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., have that as your official schedule. Prepare before that. Your office starts very early, then end it, and then start with your CAT prep. There is an expectation that we're all available throughout because we're all working from home. As an employer, I don't find it unusual that people expect some response to something. But even that expectation is for some immediate update, not for tons of work. So check your official messages or WhatsApps or whatever it is once every n minutes so that people know that you're there. Because even the guys who are in office or who are working or running the project, they want to be reassured. that, hey, things are fine, I have it covered, I'll give it to you tomorrow morning at 9. That's all they want to know. That is not a continuous ping. Don't get into this funk mode saying मेरा ऑफिस में हमेशा मुझे व्हाट्सएप भेजते रहते हैं, हमेशा अपडेट मांगते हैं. ये नहीं सोचते कि तुम्हें हमेशा काम करना चाहिए. There's a difference. So don't get into this victim complex mode. It becomes very easy to go into, especially when there's ambient uncertainty and a little bit of what, for lack of a better word, slightly bleak atmosphere around. Generally, nobody is jumpy and saying the future is great and I want to do this and that and the next thing. Everybody is saying, "Chalo yaar, dekhte hain. We'll wait and watch." And that's not the best time to be starting off on any kind of new things. So it's very easy to inadvertently slip into default complain or whine mode. Okay, I'm not being rated well. I'm not being given my due in my office. They don't care how much I'm contributing. Or there's so much work to be done. They keep pinging me at 9, 9:30, 10 all the time. Generally, I will tell you that you will get that ping for the update, not for the task. Usually, so if somebody's pinging you at 9:30, say, "Hey, it's just done." And they want to know that this has been completed. It will be there at 9 a.m. when they start their day. They're not saying, "Okay, do this next 2 hours." And so it is easy to slip into that mode. Stay away from that. Very important. At preparation wise, it is a no-brainer now. Don't anchor your preparation to a classroom course. God knows when classroom courses as we knew it will restart. And we are shutting down or winding, sticking a pin into our classroom coaching in Chennai. And I think it will be daft if all the CAT coaching centers countrywide were not seriously thinking about it. Several have already shut down. Several are probably thinking about it right now. You have to think about it. There's no two ways about it. The cases are crossing previous peaks. So anybody who runs a classroom coaching, not only are we saying people are going to sit inside a place for 2 hours in close proximity with a teacher who's probably older, we're also saying people have to commute and get to that place, probably taking public transport or coming in a car or an auto or a train, whatever. So all of these instances increase risks, and there's an ambient uncertainty. And right now, online available. Definitely have a beautiful plan to prepare online. And so there's no doubt about it. I don't see classroom classes beginning in any form or shape over the next 2-3 months in most of the major cities in India. We can't see it happening. It would be irresponsible to run classroom classes. It will be irresponsible of students to go sit in them. Not commonsensical to run giant classroom batches. So you have to have a plan outside of that, no doubt about it. So anchor your preparation around some form of learning online. And when you go there, then learning online has to be laced with layers of discipline. So work on that. Make sure you evaluate a lot of online courses. We guys offer an online course, so I'm obviously going to pitch that. But I'm pitching this with good sense. Make sure that you evaluate all the online options. Right now, I'm finding a lot of online transition happening and that too rapidly. Learning online is both very easy and very tough. What do I mean by that? The cost of shifting online is minuscule. I don't need to find infra. I just need to say Zoom. Ideally, digital writing pad, anybody can become an online teacher. Right? For students that are going to the class, I sign in at this time and do that. But engagement levels are crucial. It's so easy for the teacher to pick on engagement falling in a real classroom. We have a simple phrase called eyeball feedback. Eyeball se dikh jata hai, how many people get it, how many people don't get it. And teachers have a knack of sensing that some idea has not gone through, energy is coming low, people are drooping, all that. Online mein kuch nahi lagta. So I am sitting here and I am assuming that everybody understands. I am sitting here and assuming that all of you who are there are receiving whatever I am saying, and it might not be. So the teacher has to find another bag of tricks to do that. You have to find another bag of tricks to stay engaged. So the online class cannot be just take a classroom thing and transition, because motivational levels have to be maintained. You have to have a certain peer group that's created with a WhatsApp network, some amount of mentorship. And more than all of this, you need to have a phenomenal backbone for asynchronous learning, because live gives you the hit, but live can't be the main deal. So keep that in mind. Anytime you're evaluating courses, I find several places that there is an easy transition from classroom to Zoom or Google Hangout or Meet or whatever the less expensive option. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. If you, instead of going to a classroom thing, if you go to a Zoom thing, then you're basically saying, I used to go to this classroom. Instead of that, I'm taking Zoom. which is fine, which seems prima facie that, look, I'm reducing my commute time, I'm reducing my exposure, I'm increasing social distancing, I've ticked the COVID boxes, वैसे भी सीखने वाला हूँ. The challenges online are far tougher. It is far easier. You can sit in your room and just switch on and do. But and take my word for it, the temptation to shift out and do and check one article, check the score of a match that is running, read that beautiful piece about Lionel Messi, are all there. They're right there. And chances are you grab them and you miss something. And then you're playing catch up. And then you switch off. And then slowly the engagement level starts stopping. It's very crucial to not just have like for like classroom to Zoom. You need to have a giant backbone to take value from an online course. The online course has to have a giant backbone. That's what I mean by that. It has to have a good LMS. LMS is learning management system, where you can go find exactly what content you're looking for. Those are the advantages online give you. I don't want to sit through a profit and loss class. I want to check out those 4 questions where profit and loss questions are there with false weights and adulteration. That's the thing I don't know. I don't want to sit through a 2-hour class to notice that the teacher is just glossing through 3 questions quickly. मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया. Ulteka, I have wasted 1 hour 50 minutes because I didn't want any of the other stuff. So you need to be able to go and pick that one thing, or in mixtures, multiple iterations. Once you take 25% out, 25% out, 25% out, 3 times and something happens. That part is the thing that I don't understand clearly. In every topic there are 2-3 things like this. We guys as teachers, we know this. We bend over backwards to modularize the content so that people can go and pick that in that 15 minutes and do that. That is simply not possible in a classroom to Zoom substitution. In classroom, you'll ask your friend, you'll go ask the teacher again, or you go back to the textbook. In online, if you're just sitting through a Zoom class, that thing will go away. The juiciest questions in competitive exams are going to be from those elements. You'll need to go back to an LMS and say, hey, I'm going to wind my head around this. Very crucial. You need to have a huge video library where you can go back and access and revise and revisit. And that's super crucial. So don't just sign up for a classroom too. The classroom proposition is compelling. But the classroom rapidly, suddenly, one fine morning shifted to Zoom, not compelling. When it was classroom and you're sitting in a town and you're going to the nearby teacher, that's brilliant. And then one fine day the teacher says, yaar, iske baad nahi aa payenge. Let's go do Zoom. Then you're going to go to Zoom. Then you should expand your choice set and say, वैसे भी I'm learning online. Let me check out what are all the things available online. And when you're checking that out, check out the LMS, check out the video library. Somebody has to be there to say, hey, what's your preparation plan? What are you doing? Are you reading enough? Are you checking out enough LR puzzles? Somebody has to have, so there has to be a group where people post questions, but not junk questions, not get into this or typical polarized cult discussions on politics or junk sports. Not that, but relevant questions. That's important. And the content has to be modularized and sit here. You need to be able to go to that question, that topic. And there's got to be a discussion board where you ask questions and get them clarified. So the ton of work goes into creating a compelling online course which is put together nicely. If you're going online, might as well get all these advantages, which, take my word, are super crucial, because a classroom suddenly going to Zoom, it's brilliant for the first 3-4 days. Apart from that, you need enormous discipline. You need to be like Zen-like in your discipline to take as much value from a Zoom transition like you can take from a classroom. Because the classroom energy and the physical constraint of it, I have to be there from 6 to 8 p.m. on a Saturday. I cannot be doing other things. Most importantly, I cannot be doing other things simultaneously. Whereas in your desktop, laptop, you can do that. And therefore, just a substitution won't work. Engagement has to be amped up. And the teacher has to have the wherewithal to do it. And the student has to have the discipline to hang on to it. So definitely have an online plan. And when you're doing an online plan, definitely try out the several online products. You're going to be learning from one teacher, seeing that person's face relentlessly for probably 200 hours, or at least 120, 140 hours through a 6-month period. If you don't connect and if there's no gut feel for, hey, I can hang on here, you'll get bored straight away or rapidly. The first 4 classes, your transition. There's not enough time to disengage. But once the disengagement happens, it's a nice slippery slope. So be very wary of it. Do check out all content thoroughly for yourself. It goes without saying, don't check out reviews online. Reviews online are as useless as some guy who's created the course telling you their course is the best. Which is what I'm doing now. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying the online review system was fiercely manipulated. So this is not 2016. You cannot suddenly say, that review turned out to be fake. Look, 70% of the reviews are fake. You should know that. Validate them. Check out the courses on your own. fake review is no longer a new idea. Fake review has become the norm. And so you should be wary of that. So you check out a couple of reviews, you can find out what is fake, what is not reasonably well. And then you go check out the course. If the guy doesn't let you check out the course, dump that person straight away. It's not worth your while. Online may to facilitate validation is that much easier. If whoever is offering the course is not providing you that, they're definitely hiding something. If they are not, it is safer to assume they're hiding something. So be very, very clear that you have an online plan for your 2021 CAT preparation, no doubt about it. If you're going online, check out online providers before automatically taking a transition. Almost all transitions are, instead of classroom, I have this. And you know what, you can access these so many videos. Having a video dump, the greatest video dump in the history of mankind is provided on YouTube. You cannot prepare for CAT completely with that. You need a structure to what you're learning. Otherwise, video dump is available at dime a dozen. There are super people, wonderful guys who teach uniquely, brilliantly for several things. But if you rely on that, then your search cost is killing. So video dump is useless. It has to be video structured well in a particular flow. Do check it out, take the ownership of finding a good online course onto yourself, validate the courses, check them out in their natural LMS, evaluate LMS, and whether you can find the comfort of staying there for tens of hours or maybe hundreds of hours. If that works, then pay money, otherwise don't. So you have to have a plan to go online, and you have to evaluate online players. So keep those two things as primary things in your mind. I'm going to pop over to questions before that. How to prepare with job, how many hours to spend. With job, you need to squeeze out time either early morning, late evening or weekends, no doubt about it. Every week from now, you should spend 10 to 12 hours minimum. And so this is a plan for April, May, June. By the time you you go into second half of June, from June 15 to maybe September 15, you need to carve out 15 to 20 hours. And the last 1.5 months or 2 months, you should be carving out 25 hours. And when I say 15 hours, it is 15 intense hours. This whole fund of I watch a video, I loop out of it, I check out something, I read something, I watch one Hotstar episode, and then I come back, check kya WhatsApp mein hai. All that is just hogwash. And none of this includes about 45 minutes to an hour of reading every day. But if you think about it, 45 minutes of reading, 2 hours of learning is not such a heavy ask. Don't tell yourself that time is short. Don't get into this biggest energy drag that I have seen. Is the autopilot easy version of saying, my job is killing me. My job environment is very tough. I'm traveling so much. Take it from me, several people have cracked the exam. I've also had tough environment. The environment is seriously toxic. You should look to get out any which way. Whether CAT works or not, whether you're rich or not, it is not worth your while to work in a toxic work environment where somebody is putting you down all the time. Somebody is criminally asking you to do unethical, illegal stuff or impossible tasks. And so then you should be saying, look, this job doesn't work for me. Find another job, then quit this job. Be pragmatic. Right? But the toxic work environment is about 1% of environments. Several other times, we increase sometimes the toxicity by saying, I'm not being given my due. If you're not, find a job. Find another job. If you think you're worth 50% more than what you're getting paid, get that job that will give you 50%. Otherwise, stay quiet, prove yourself. Keep looking for another job. Alternatives are available for everybody, and alternatives need to be grabbed for you to demonstrate that they are available. And so don't fall into this trap of saying my job is killing, my job is too time consuming, my job is too strenuous, it doesn't give me breathing room. The more you say that, the more your mind draws connection, saying your mind is creating a parallel track of excuses for CAT not working out. CAT need not work out, CAT may not work out. For the best of my students, CAT sometimes doesn't work out. There's 2 more marks in DILR could have taken them places. It happens to anybody, everybody. And that is all right. I'm not saying CAT will work out, it may not. But you can't sign up for a journey where you already have a set of excuses, especially your job scenarios in place. You need to have more discipline if you're a working employee than you're a student, no doubt about it. There's less room for goofing off. But 10 to 12 hours per week you can extract. Find out when that I can't tell you, because for some it is early morning, for some it is late night, for some it is Saturday and Sunday. Put other things on hold, dive into this, it is possible. And number system is a nightmare for me how to manage it. This is Udit Rathor. Don't worry about too much about number system. Crack arithmetic, put it in the bag. Take geometry, put it in the bag. Then have a stab at number system. It could work. But if you have arithmetic in place completely, geometry in place completely, and you are comfortable with basic algebra, then you have covered 75% of this paper. Then number systems will seem much smaller, and you'll be more comfortable because you have done tons of other stuff. Number system is not as big a deal as basic arithmetic is. It's not as big a deal as even geometry, trigonometry, mensuration, coordinate geometry. That bundle is. Right? How many questions we need to do daily in quant approximately for beginners? This is from Tushar. See, it's not the number of questions, but comfort level with topic. And so, the way I would look at it is learn Funda in one topic, do some practice to consolidate that Funda, do a few CAT level questions to know where you stand, move to the next topic. And then you do topic 1, 2, 3, 4, come back to topic 1. You'll always have to relentlessly revisit. Otherwise, when you come back to the topic, you'll feel like, kuch bhi yaad nahi hai. I have no idea what is happening. Did I even study it the first time? But I can tell you that if you take 4 hours to finish a topic, next time when you start, you feel like I'm starting at 0, but in 2 hours, you'll finish the topic. Your mind has those connections. They're just latent. You're sleeping. You have to wake them up, but it happens. But you have to keep having a schedule which revisits and revises completely. You won't spiral your way on. So it is not like this many questions as having some discipline to your schedule of topics and maintaining that. I'm in final semester in college. I have no job. I want to have work before MBA. Now will the gap year harm me? See, COVID gap year is a norm. You know that you're a fresh grad. It's incredibly tough to get a job. Having said that, if you have access to a job, it could be a low paying job, it could be a job not in your field, it could be completely different to what you have learned, it could be not that exciting, but if you can lay your hands on a job, I can tell you that several companies are waiting to employ people who will willingly throw themselves into task and work at a 20% discount because they're also struggling. You'll learn tons of stuff. You'll have that experience number to work for you. You look hard enough, you can find jobs. So sacrifice a bunch of criteria and then jump at it. It should be possible, or at least give yourself that shot. But having said all this, if you do have a gap year and you go to the interview and say, look, I graduated in 2020 June, but my college actually finished only by 2020 October because of COVID. And November, December, Jan, I kept looking for a job. I simply couldn't find any. In fact, I got a job. And then I was supposed to start in March. By June, I was laid off because the company was in trouble with COVID. I've done several things, but I never had held to a job for 6 months. It's just been a bad deal for me. All right, you can still get away with it in your interview. Don't worry too much because this is I won't call it an excuse, but the reality of COVID right now is anyone who has graduated from any college from 2020 April or 2021 April, good chance that you're not automatically into a job. The reality of what we're doing with. Try your best to find some job. Change the criteria for what is a great job for yourself. Find some employment. But even with that, if you're not able to find, it's not the worst thing in the world. They know this reality. I've joined CAT 2 I'm online course just a few days back. Is there a dedicated WhatsApp group? There's definitely a dedicated WhatsApp group. This is Karthikeya Pathak. Do reach out to us. Any one of us will tell you how to join the group. Is it good to do MBA online as foreign top university offer MBA online mode and the fee is less than average B school? This is from Sumit Gupta. Online MBAs, this year's online MBA, where you're ending up doing online, but you're actually attached to a campus. So if you're a NITI, you joined NITI last year, then you've not gone to, chances are you've not even seen your campus. Not true for NITI, every college. Several people have done first year of their MBA without going to college. I won't call that an online MBA. These guys had regular summer internship. They'll have regular placements. The biggest thing most of us go do an MBA for is to get a job at the end of it, to be part of a placement process at the end of it, to be able to say, I'm joining this employment pool. That will happen this year. But if you're doing an online MBA, it means you're doing just a course for the learning of it, but not with a tangible link to a campus and a placement cycle. Not worth it. See, suppose you want to be an entrepreneur. You've decided your business and your industry, and you don't want to throw money. This ROI calculation of getting a job doesn't hold anything for you. You just want to skill yourself, then online works. But if your payoff, like how it is for a majority of people, is linked to a job at the end of it, then online is not. Akash Murugappan, I need your advice. I had compartment in 12th math, 90 plus in 10 and 80 UG. Will the IM consider me for selection process if I get good percentile in CAT? Yeah, it will. If you failed but you've had compartment but you've done well in that, It'll be there in your record. Somebody is going to ask you a question, but this one thing won't kill you. If your other numbers are there, you get a chance in the interview seat, and then it's up to you to explain that. Satnik Roy, I was a student and scored 95. Should I join this year since I'm concerned with MBA going online? What will that affect my MBA? Chances are if you join this year into a good school, then your internships could get affected, but I don't think your final placement will get affected too much. And even then, last year this time, the guys who joined, their internships went actually swimmingly well. And they all got into decent internship places. Everything is a little uncertain now, no doubt about it. But the show has gone on predominantly. If you take about the top 30 colleges, B schools in India, they did not reduce their seat count. They did not reduce the number of companies recruiting with them. Several of the regular blue chip guys are doing fine. Looking about Deloitte, Accenture, McKinsey, BCG, if you look at what they are saying about their own prospects, not the broader economy, they're doing fine. Several revenues of the big companies have grown. For them, going online is not that difficult. They cannot afford to miss a batch. So they are pretending as much as possible for it to be business as usual. They do get a few B school graduates at a slight discount. They don't have to pay top dollar. Everybody is glad to have a job. Right? But by and large, the show has gone on as far as internship is concerned, as far as placement is concerned. Placement this year is going to be that little bit tricky for the guys graduating this year. Fine. But even then, if you're joining an MBA now, you'll be graduating 2 years from now. I don't think that's such an issue. You'll all get used to it. Hello, how does the individual bundles work? This is Nandita Babu. If you pick up the quant bundle, all classes in quant, everything related to math, learning part, test series come as part of that. Likewise for BARC, likewise for LRTI. Test dojo, none of the teaching Funda part, but all the testing part that comes as part of that. This is from Aniket Agarwal. Any tips for MBA CET? CET is a far simpler exam than CAT. So dial down your difficulty level adjustment in your mind. Dial up your attempts. You need to find a bunch of tricks to blitz through the paper rather than take everything in and process it and look for a catch, look for a trap. The mental adjustment from CAT to CET is significant. Definitely you've got to make it. The MindSpec Gamer, is there a 2IM mocks only program? There definitely is, but that will probably start only in June. Still time for that. Abhilesh Pathak, earlier I have worked in a production-based company that I have joined a logistics-based company with a pack. What? Job is a job. Job way better than no job. Job in your preferred segment, job in what you have learned, a job that ticks your boxes, all marginal. You have a job, let's say it's 60 marks. Now no job is 10 marks. Great job, 65 marks. Really bad job is 55 marks. This difference is so broad that distinction won't matter. Do professional courses like ACCA, CPA help in MBA interviews? In interviews, you have something to talk about. If it gets to that, yes, they converse with you. They want to know, hey, what do you do? They test you on that. Good. All points to talk about. Getting to the interview, minimal. In the interview hall, definitely yes, especially if it's a good degree. If I do internship in creative field which are not related to my studies, will it affect my profile? Not so much. Related to studies, you don't need to have managerial experience, you don't need to have civil engineering experience, you don't need to have BBA experience. You finish engineering in metallurgy, but you're writing ad copy for a print magazine, brilliant, you got a job. Pitch it as something that you wanted to do, therefore you didn't get a natural metallurgical job, took that up even though the pay was not great, now you have started enjoying it, brilliant, you're through to an MBA. Will I get a discount on your quant course? Our prices have just been slashed. They are at discounted prices. Do ACCA practical work experience considered as work ex in MBA? I'm not so sure about this, but anything that counts as internship or articleship is not counted as work experience. Full-time, paid, regular employment has to be there. How does mentorship work in 2IM? This is Nandita Babu. So every student is part of a WhatsApp group. And so everybody has an avenue to ping if they have general questions. All our WhatsApp groups are moderated. This is the first thing, which is the peer-based mentorship thing, which actually works wonderfully well. We have a VAT PI group where about 5-6 guys maintain the energy so much that every day I jump in for 20 minutes just to see what's happening. It's so much fun. They share interview experiences, they share jokes, they share memes, but not weird ones, not straying into wrong territory. They correct each other and say, hey, you could have answered this question like that. The level of discussion is compellingly engaging, fabulous. This is a VAT PI group. So that sets the baseline. Beyond this, you get to schedule your preparation call with us straight away when you're standing up. We sit down and lay out the schedule for you. After that, any point of time you have doubts and questions which are there in the course, you can post it on the discussion board. Somebody will reach out to you. Beyond all of this, the best part of it, you do get to have one-on-one discussions with one of 5, 6 of us. At any point of time, if you ping us on WhatsApp and say, hey, I'm just stuck. This is not falling in place. Could I just have a call with you? Sometimes it's just up and down with WhatsApp. Sometimes it's a call. Sometimes it's a Zoom session. But we are generally available to have that discussion. The number of hours some of our guys spend just talking to students, not potential customers who are going to buy our product, but students who have bought our product, who just want to shoot the breeze and say, hey, something's not falling in place. It's not working out. My mock score is stuck. It's not like we have all the answers, but we generally listen and engage and say, hey, try this out. Why don't you do that? We had a student who had the same problem. Maybe this trick will work for you. And that generally is very useful. So we got wonderful feedback for that. And the guys are very thankful, and it works. The WhatsApp groups work. The discussion forum works. The one-on-one WhatsApp engagement works. And the bazooka of, hey, I want to have a 20-minute call. Can I just give you a call now? That also works. And that is also available. I'm looking at a class for a question from Johnson Joseph. Should I practice reading without sub-vocalization? That's some heavy-duty jargon for me. I don't know what sub-vocalization means, so I'll get back to you on that. Will this live session be saved? It's going to be available on YouTube. This is from Vignesh. Working as a clerk in a public sector bank, will it be counted as experience? Oh, definitely. Public sector bank, brilliant. You have good experience. It'll get counted. Pratik Srivastava, shall I consider GRE instead of CAT? As general feedback is that GRE is easier than CAT. Yeah, but depends on what you want to do. Like that whole Birbal question. And I don't know if you've heard the story. It's a fabulous story. There's a guy who's searching for his ring. And then another guy comes and asks him, what happened? He says, I lost my ring. I'm searching for it. And this guy says, okay, I'll help you. Both of them look for it. And then they look for 10 minutes. They don't find the ring. This guy asks him, what happened? Why are we not getting? Where did you drop it? Can we just discuss this? He says, I dropped it all the way over there. And why are you here? This is bright here. So whether you want to do GRE or CAT is not a function of whether it is easy. It is a function of what you want to do. If you want to do technical degree and masters, and you want to have one foot into the US job market, it is GRE. If you want to do a management degree and you want to have your feet in the Indian job market, it is MBA. They're dramatically different. Where you want to head, that is important. If you're not clear about it, but you're ambitious, take both. I want to have this plan and that plan. Several of us did it. I took my CAT in 2000. Almost, 80% of us who took CAT took GRE also. You have that option. GRE, the score gives you a starting point. You can apply to several colleges. How you write your SOPs, your degree can take you to some college. CAT is tough and competitive, so we need a plan B. That's all fine. If you're ambitious and not clear, write both. Don't write GRE just because it's easier. That doesn't work. Sachaika Masiha, law from Tier 3 college, 63% in 12th standard, 85% plus. Last year got 95 percentile, aiming for 99. I don't see a question there. Aiming for 99 is good. Go for it, my friend. Considering, this is Arvind GM, considering DILR, oops, called out, give me a second. Is it okay to get through with previous year or getting into some basic funda? Previous year is a brilliant starting point. It gives you a benchmark for what type of questions are likely to be seen. You're very comfortable with that and you know the approaches. Go ahead, solve variety of puzzles. You're ready. But suppose some of the terminologies you're not ready for it, then do some simpler DILR, get ready for that, and then amp it up there. Variety is the key factor for LRDI, and the best starting point is previous year paper. How can I take a mock into IMAP? It works like any other regular feature. You can click and take mock and shoot. This is from Manish Bhatt. Is it worth doing an MBA without visiting the campus, sir? 26 lakhs is not worth doing it online. See, very hard-nosed if you have to have a discussion. I'm spending money on an MBA, getting some payoff. Suppose I'm borrowing, I'm taking a loan, and I'm going to, my most crucial variables are how much am I spending and what am I going to get as a 10-year after graduation, what am I going to get paid. This year, learning online is a pain. It's a pain in the neck. But payoff-wise, it's probably not the worst. because competitively you're not worse off. Very important to keep this in mind. Very often I find students saying online MBA is only 6 lakhs, but I'm doing an actual MBA only online, but I'm spending 22 lakhs. The big difference here, you're doing an actual MBA online, you're getting the actual degree along with an actual peer group who have been received off a big competitive pool and who have ended up there. And the recruiters are thinking of you as an IIM Trichy graduate or an IIT graduate, not someone who's completed an online degree somewhere, online course somewhere. The big draw is what signal this sends. All education is a signal. And if you find somebody who's done a PhD from Stanford, is telling you, freakishly good, knows his stuff, king in his field, and or queen in her field. And so it's clear, that's what it screams out, the CV. So if you have graduated from, say, IIM Trichy, but you spent first 12 months completely online, and then the next 3 months also online, you spent only 5 months in campus, but you've got enough of a CG and 10th and 12th score to get a seat for the interview. You've got enough of a CAT score to get that seat finally inside. You've got done something inside to exit with a 3.2 out of 4 CGPA. All those things are telling me that you're good enough to get into IIM Trichy and good enough to survive there and do well. So I'm going to recruit you if I'm Accenture. That's what the play is. The Accenture guy is not looking at IIM Trichy graduate as an online MBA degree kuch kar diya Udemy mein. No. He's looking at an IIM Trichy signal. That's what I'm getting from there. And that is different. So the cost equation doesn't change. This is not, the learning is tougher. The peer group interaction is poor. Your experience is bad. I feel really sorry for you guys. And I had a ball of a time in my 2 years in MBA. And we used to get smacked around by professors, but we used to sit in a night canteen and whine about it from 1:30 to 2. And then 2 baje ko fresh batch of tea will come, which we'll have and then go to sleep. We'll have a party once in 3 weeks in L Square, where we'll just sit there and rot till morning. We'll be dead tired end of Friday and sleep through a Saturday. But you forge brilliant friendships. You forge lovely peer group interactions. We'll sit through the night and go have breakfast before going to bed. Those things you guys are all missing out on, and I feel really sorry for you guys. So that score, it's a huge loss. The sheer quantum and quality of peer interaction that you can have and you are missing out on is a massive loss. But in terms of tangible numerical numbers and what's the payoff, what's the ROI, not a big deal. It's not going to be looked at by the market as a skill degree. It's going to be looked at as a high powerful signal degree. That only matters. 60 below 12th with EWS, which should you target? Get the best CAT score possible. The top 3-4 are obviously difficult. ABCLIK is going to be difficult. But if you get a kick-ass score, anything below that should be possible. That was with hold it and watch a clip. When Abhilash Pathak for MBA in supply chain management, some course that can enhance skill and support the resume. Support the resume, minimal. Enhance skill, plenty of them. So if it's a good value for your time, you're anyway thinking about that course, you will take value from that course, pick up that course. Is it going to give you a better chance to get the interview? Nothing. As far as the interview is concerned, the IIMs don't have time to go through 1,95,000 CVs or whatever the number of people who take CAT. They don't. They take 10th standard, 12th standard, UG score, work experience, CAT score, put into a black box. It spits out a number. If it's more than 0.63, you get called for interviews. If it's lesser, you don't get called for interview. In the interview, they sit with you and ask you, hey, okay, so you want to do in supply chain management, you're an engineer. What do you know about really supply chain management and MBA? And then you say, look, I've done this course and that course and this course. And then they ask you a couple of questions, get them right. And then you have something going for you. So you give yourself a better chance in the interview, but that's about it. Not for getting to the interview. This is Abhishek Kumar, CPA, ACCA, we've already done that. Kailash score in 20 was around 94th in VA and QA. But tanked at DIR, which is the most critical thing to target for DLR this year. Name of the game is variety. Go through previous year CAT papers, solve with take as many different LR DI puzzles as possible. When you're looking at solutions, go through the thought processes very clearly of the guys who have solved it. Don't just look at the solution. Don't just look at the answer and say, yeah, it never occurred to me. Sometimes I've seen some solutions and I've been super peeved with it. Very often DILR solutions start from one final point. They start from saying, okay, if you look at constraint number 7, 8, and 11, it is clear that D is in the greenhouse, and D greenhouse. Now you fill A, B, C, and then A should be driving that control, you're done. that is a travesty because that's not how I would have gone through it. I would have looked at constraint A, 1, 2, 3, 4, gone nowhere with it. Then go there. The solution has to cover the idea that the most natural process is going to hit roadblock thrice before the fourth door opening up. Sometimes I get irritated when the solution starts from a bleeding obvious point. So it's like, yeah, you take these three into account, you'll get this answer. I would not have taken those three into account. I would not have. I would have tried three things into account before I got there. So your solution should take in mind the journey a natural aspirant is going to take to come to that point and not just give you the answer. So find out that solution provider, hint. Find a very strong hint here, landing all over the place. Keep that in mind. You should pick up someone who's going to take you through the process of, hey, what is an aspirant going to go through? What is that journey? And then look at that solution. So you have to traverse that path when you're doing it. That's where your mind will say, okay, next time around something like this comes, I'll hang in there and get to the solution. That is crucial. So go through solutions in detail and do with a lot of variety. That is the breakthrough for LRDA. Clash of Clans looking for mock series, not right now. Were you so much energetic? I'm not. I get ready for the class. I'm not always energetic. Lokesh MV, Kuldeep Khatri, many thanks. Lokesh MV, I've been hearing that good work X and ACADS do help to get an IM. But what will be situation placements after joining? Extracurriculars are all overrated. Achievements, unless they are spectacular, they don't count for much. If you have good work X, good CG, you will go places. The hard, tangible metrics matter. All other things being equal, the guy with CG of 3.3 is likely to get better shortlist than the guy is getting CG of 2.7. All other things not being equal, the guy with a CG of 3.3 is still likely to get better shortlist than the guy with a CG of 2.7. CG is a powerful signal, CGPA. So you go there, and you do well, you'll go places. What is the scope of MBA Telecom Management? This is a specialized MBA course worth it. My gut feel, specialized MBA courses come lower down. Specialization in HR operations, that's all fine. But in media management, telecom management, there are niche areas with unique, some demand for them. But if I'm a telecom recruiter, I will go, if I can get a recruit from IMABC, LIK, Trichy, I will look at those guys and say, look, these guys know their MBA. They have taken, the signal is that they were good enough to get into IIM Trichy. Not that they've learned something in telecom. Recruiting based on talent and ability to solve problems, not on some three jargon point that they've learned in telecom. If I wanted that, I have my own employees. I'm looking for somebody who can add something to my mix that the MBA guy can provide. So I'm all super specializations, I'm a little wary of. How to gauge the, this is a question from Shiva Chaitanya, how to get the LOD of DILR sets. It's a holy grail. If you find the trick for that, please share with me. It's very tough, very tough. And so with practice, you get better and better at knowing what you are good at. You get better and better at knowing what you are crap at. In LRDI, finding the best set is very tough. But finding the set that is just not your thing, that's easier. Don't get caught in a stinker and leave. The second thing that's important in LRDI is understand that your selection could go wrong. And we had a series of memes which cracked this brilliantly. The fact that I think I've cracked the Grest thing and then I go there and then it hammers me. Because it's not the best set, not the easiest set. So know how to reconcile to the decision that you've taken a wrong decision. That's important. All of us make LRDA mistakes. The best guys, you know what they do? After 5 minutes, they say, this one is tricky. I got that wrong. I'm going to jump in. What some of us do is hang on till 8th minute. That's all right. We dump it at 8th minute. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th minute where our mind should be processing the next one. Part of it is cursing the previous one. Part of it is still trying to solve the previous one. Think, behold, something I'm missing. If I get it, I will come back and kill this paper. You're done. You've paid 5 minutes. That's a normal price to pay. 3 minutes extra because you didn't take the decision well. 4 minutes of lost time and energy because you're still thinking about the previous thing. Kill those things. Your selection part will go better. DILR seems tough. This is Anukriti. Can you provide some tips? There's a detailed video on how to tackle DILR, how to select the right set for DILR. Do have a look at that. Will MBA going online affect the advantages of doing MBA like networking and working in a team? Working in a team via Zoom is a new skill set that you'll get. And so this, I think the remote working and Zoom and Meet and all that is going to stay with us for 10 years, 15 years. that you will get. Is it going to take some of the joys of MBA out of the system? Yeah, definitely travesty. My best experiences of my MBA were not in the classroom. The brilliant exchanges I had about this and that with my friends. Some of the friendship that I have still now in 18 years. We run an online course for schools. We are doing a summer camp. Several of my friends have come in and said, look, we've spoken to different people. They posted our posters in other groups. They've rooted for me. They've said, look, I know this guy. Jump in and take that course. So it will be worth it. They send me referrals for CAT coaching today. And with the look, yaar, wo pada raha hai, tum jao, join. Don't ask me silly questions. Go and join. With the ratification that comes from them. And those are the things that happen because you have several interactions beyond one classroom and class participation. And you guys are going to be deprived of all of that. So I feel really sorry for that. There is a richness to that. There's a value to that. That intangible is phenomenal. Luck of the draw. Just a wrong year to be doing an MBA on those metrics. But the tangible payoffs will be there. Don't worry about that. This is Samruddhi Dongre. I've completed engineering in 2013. Gap since then. Any chance of I am ABC? 10th, 12th there. 10th, 12th and graduation are modest. So I'm not because the gap, because the 10th, 12th and undergraduation are modest, ABC are going to be tough. And the 7-year gap is huge. So there's several things not going your way. But if you're saying, if you get a compelling CAT score, which is 99.2 percentile, 99.3 percentile, and then you get in an interview with IIM Trichy, Udaipur, Ranchi, Rohtak, and you're in there, then they ask you the one obvious question that they're going to ask you. Saying, you finished graduation in 2013, what were you doing? You have a beautiful prepared answer for that. You go, you get a fresh lease of life and go kick ass in Trichy and you can go places. Ashish Lada, chances of CA, I don't understand the question. Chances for CA for IIM? Easiest. The IIMs love chartered accountants and they just love them. So chartered accountants, their articleship doesn't count as experience, but otherwise they're the smack the territory for IIMs. Sagnik Roy, will MBA going online? We've already done that. Venu Rajan, some psychological techniques you suggest to develop endurance and keep bad thoughts away. Please tell me if you have. I love reading. Reading is a get-out class for me. Just walking, moving about, physically engaging in something, that's a big deal for me. Sport, that's the trick for me enormously. Anything where I can engage in another activity, completely, totally help me. So playing chess, playing bridge, running around and playing football, those things are automatically. Passive entertainment is like junk food for me. Sometimes when I'm super peeved, I switch off and watch some sitcom or some random TV series. I really like it in the moment, but my energy levels are dull after a couple of hours. But active entertainment really pays off for me. Reading, engaging, writing, running, playing, chatting, proper discussions on some topic, those all work for me. Active engagement on any basis works for me. Raj Humanity, I have completed my MSc in mathematics. Can I opt for MBA in finance? Oh, most definitely. MSc mathematics is as good a starting point as any for doing MBA in finance. 80th percentile, did everything for VIRC, got 84. Can you guide me so that I should go for it or should I proceed with my job? You should proceed with a job and try for CAT. Several times when you have done your full round of preparation and it doesn't fall in place in 1 year, next year with 4 months of tweaking, it could all just fall in place. So don't rush to the conclusion that you need to prepare full time for 6 months, 7 months. I could go to the extent of saying preparing with a job in hand is always better. Ajay Ram, answer to my question. I don't know your question, Ajay Ram. I'll come back. The results are getting delayed. Confused whether to wait for the results or prepared for CAT 2021. This is a crucial one, good one. Waiting for results is unnerving. In fact, there was a lovely meme on that from 2IM a couple of days ago. It's a pain. The uncertainty is killing. It's just a drag on everything. So I would say if you have a clear weakness area, dwell into that, dive into that, read away to glory so that your VRC gets amped up. Suppose geometry was your big bugbear last time. Focus and say till results come, I'm going to learn geometry. So if I go to IIM code, it's not going to hurt me. I'm going to read tons of stuff so that my VRC level is higher. I don't have a preparation schedule and a discipline because my mind is not fully onto that, but I'll do these two things. I'll learn some geometry every day. I'll read tons of stuff. So narrow your focus areas and hit just spots like that. Let me just think. When will Test Dojo be released for CAT 2021? Sahil Sharma, very soon, I can tell you that much. Soon enough, within a week. Was in Deloitte, this is from Paritosh Thakur, was in Deloitte Consulting for 2.5 years and quit my job. Also, average ACAD, would 1 year gap and average ACAD make a problem? Average ACAD is a problem. 1 year gap would have been a problem, but with 2.5 years of experience, you are in the sweet spot. So it won't kill your chances for getting to the interview, but it's an obvious interview question. And so you've got 30 months of work, that'll automatically count. For the first stage, getting a seat in the interview hall, it won't matter. But inside there, you'll have some explaining to do. So it's less of an issue. Somebody, suppose you're taking a break after having worked for 2.5 years, definitely far better than taking a break straight after graduation. No doubt about it. This is Abhishek Kumar. With both Gaya Word taking admission, first try of CAT. Depends on where you're starting from. You're a fresher who's not sure about whether you can pull off a 97 percentile in CAT ever. 93, 94 is the best case scenario, and you seem to hit that, then great. Pick it up, make it compelling, do well. But if you have 2.5 years of experience, you're already doing well in Infosys, and you have a chance of maybe doing a GMAT and doing some other MBA a year later, year and a half later, or one more shot at CAT, getting paid at least already 8 lakhs per annum, don't go. Where you are determines your decision making, not how good both guys. Sambhav Jain, below 60% in any of the classes, 10th or 12th leads to no IM, no. ABC, very tough to get even if you have one weakness. No doubt about it, because there are going to be several candidates who have no weakness, who have a good 10 score, good 12 score, good UG, and they get 99.63. Unless you get 99.95, you can't beat those doors down. And so, but outside of that, with one score being iffy, you can still go through. Outside of ABC, LIK. Vipul Dubey, reading article, but it's very difficult to get the grasp of what the author is trying to say, what is his tone, what is the hidden meaning. It's heavily contextual. When you read economist articles, you struggle to understand more than a third of it. But you hang in there, in that topic, the fourth article you read will become better, simpler. You know the anchor points, you know the arguments they're likely to make, you know the jargon, you know the terminology. There is no easy fix. Keep on reading. The seventh article you read from the same publication becomes far easier. The third article you read from the same author, it becomes easier. Your mind automatically draws connection. You don't need to remember stuff, but the similar topic, genre, trend, style starts making a mark. There's more background stuff in your mind to anchor itself to. It will happen. Just hang in there. Rajan J, 14 years of work experience in education. Shall I be considered for fresh admission in other domain and IMs? I don't understand this question. So you will be considered as a candidate with a lot of experience. When it comes to the job market, if you're going for a job that is completely in finance, your education experience is going to be less relevant. That will have its role. But otherwise, in MBA, you can do whatever specialization you want. Sonu B, Sony, 79, 53, 78, non-engineering male. Should I focus on CAT 1? Definitely, why not? Do well in CAT. It will open some doors. Have a job, apply for CAT. The scores are less material. How frequently should I take mocks? This is Ankita N. Definitely start taking mocks as early as possible. In April, May, June, 1 or 2 per month is fine. July, August, September, you really need to get on to a schedule. 1 per week, one every 10 days, and then moving to 1 per week. From second half of September all the way through to November, 2-3 per week. Amp up your marks. The last 2 months, your preparation is completely determined by mocks and the feedback from mocks. But before that, you should hit a run rate of 1 per week. Now you should take 1 mock every 3 weeks or once a month for sure. Just take it. Just see what it is like. Sai Sharma, can I use Dojo as my own primary source of preparation? Definitely. If you have your fundas in place, Dojo as primary source of preparation is completely fine. When I mean fundas in place, you can confidently say in each section of CAT, you get 90th percentile. If 78 is not fundas in place, 85 is not having fundas in place, confident that you can get 90, 90, 90 any which way, and you're trying to see if you can go to 96, 97, then Dojo is your vehicle. not otherwise. Not because of what the test dojo offers vis-a-vis other things, but if you're getting 82nd percentile, the difference between 82nd percentile and 99.5 in a section is almost doubling of the score. You have to double your score to go from 81 to 99.5 in quant. It's not just practice. Fundas need to be filled. Understanding and intuition around that topic has to be filled. Practice is required, tons of it. And a realignment of basics is also required. Arvind GM got placed in production industry and doing my intern. Scored 97.5 in Internships. Shall I prepare for 2 years and get into IIM or just go with November 20? Go with this cat. Don't prepare for 2 years and all that. 6 months, 8 months is enough preparation time. Preparing for 19 months, 20 months, this whole preparation cycle of 20 months was created by the preparation industry. When we guys used to prepare for CAT, we used to grudgingly start in August. CAT used to be in the same December, so we would start in August, prepare for 4 months and give it a go. The guys who are not serious would prepare for 2 months. And so it is still, the papers were far tougher than it is now. Competition was also intense because only 1.2 lakh people took the exam, but there were only 2,000 seats available. There were only 8 colleges, not 80 colleges. And the number of seats in each college was much smaller, much smaller. So the competition for good seats was much higher. The paper was tougher. So we've all expanded the extent to which we are preparing because it's fun, nice and dandy for the preparation industry. So don't prepare for next CAT. If you're eligible to take 2021, take it now. Crunch your preparation schedule, throw everything in, but take it now. Don't prepare for 2022. The Mindspec Gamer, I have 90% both 10th and UG, but 85% in 12th, that's all right. That's all right, 85% is all right. You need to get some 99.65 opens the door for Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta for someone. For you, it will be 99.74. Tougher, no doubt about it, but the doors are not shut. Shivansh Singh, I tried everything this year regarding VRC. Lots of reading list, Bharat's reading list, wonderful place. RC is 30 marks, but still got 84th percentile. Same was the case last year. What can I do new this year? Either way, have some belief. It should fall in place. One thing I can say is for how I say LRDI, the critical thing is variety. For quant, it is practice and Funda. For VRC, it is being particular about accuracy. A lot of students who keep on amping up attempts, but not resolving that 1 in 2. That thing doesn't fall in place. They get 50% of the questions that are 1 in 2 wrong. They continue to get that wrong, so they keep on amping up the attempts. So in one VRC session, they'll get 98th percentile, in one they'll get 75th. Keeps yo-yoing. That happens because you don't have a handle on accuracy. So double down and say, I'm going to do it slowly. I'm going to take as much time as possible, but I will get this answer right. Be more particular about accuracy psychologically. It's easier said than done. I've tried it several times, but I still find myself chasing attempts in an exam context. You have to switch off and say, I'll get a handle on VRC, then increase attempts again. Sarthak Sharma, why won't you guys give preparation tips for SBI PO? It is so close to CAT. We understand idea of preparing for competitive exam. It's a level of difficulty and Funda understanding. SBI PO is slightly different. We don't have that much command of it right now. We are trying to wind our head around that. We will come there when we come there. Akash Jain, which article to read and from where if someone is weak in VRC? I don't believe you're hearing this question. If you go through the comment section, you would have seen 5 times somebody mentioning Bharat's reading list. Bharat's reading list is really the real deal. The gold standard of reading suggestions for CAT preparation. Google Bharat reading list, you will find that. Arvind Prakash already gave CAT thrice, rejected IMT Ghaziabad last year. I've been 6 months since I left my job. Been actively trading now in NFO. Should I prep for CAT again? There's no downside to it. Got a trading gig going, keep doing that. If you have a job, stick to that. If you can find a job, take that. There's absolutely no downside to preparing for CAT. You know the drill, you've taken it, you understand what your strengths and weaknesses are. You need to know how many marks you take. Amp it up in the last 2 months. But don't not prepare for CAT. Definitely prepare. Is it advised to take a gap year? No. Should I take CAT 2021? If you're eligible to take CAT 2021, write it. There are very few answers that I say without qualifying and saying it depends. This is very clear. If you're eligible to take CAT 2021, take it. If you have a shot at taking it, prepare for it. You have lots of time to prepare for CAT 2021. Even if you're an absolute novice candidate, start, prepare. Don't quit a job. Hang on to a job, prepare, and take 2021. This is Rishabh Sheregar, pharmacy graduate with 1.5 years of experience working in pharma. Should I go for pharma MBA or core? Core. All the specialization MBAs come lower down. Better college, better MBA. Broader MBA, better MBA. Very simple. So don't think in terms of I'm getting into IMCAL, but I can get a specialization of HR in IM branch. It doesn't matter. IMCAL might not be the big daddy in HR. Maybe you want to do HR. Do HR from IMCAL because it's a better college. Core MBA, good college, important. Everything else comes lower down. What is the best answer for the question, why should I choose this college? Shivam Garg, I'm not answering that because there's not the time for it. We are in April. That's a question for personal interview at Jan Feb next year, not now. Ajay Ram is joining as CAT coaching lecturer. Is advisable for engineering student. Ajay Ram, it's important to have formal employment. If you're doing a freelance gig, it doesn't count. If you're working as a part-time faculty, it doesn't count. If you can link yourself with an institute in a role, in a job where you have a Form 16 and you're paid and you have a title, that helps. Even then, working as a gig in a branded MNC is better than working as a lecturer in a small company. Not because of anything else, but because getting a work experience certificate from Alpha Beta company is very easy in India. So if I find two candidates, one has worked as a chemistry lecturer in Shriram tutorials in Guwahati. Another guy has worked for 2 years in Accenture. I know the Accenture guy has worked in Accenture. I know God knows what he has done in Shriram tutorials in Guwahati. No insult. There could be a fabulous Shriram tutorials which employs beautiful people, trains them and achieves super results. Prima facie, I don't have evidence for that. So I'll worry about it. And the IM interviewers are going to be like that. Jai Ho sir, this is Prabhav Shukla. What is the strategy for mock? There's one entire blog post, an entire video dedicated to mocks. Have a look at that. Please do have a look at that. Take mocks. Have a mock schedule right now. We're too soon to discuss serious mock strategies. Definitely take mocks. That's a crucial part of the strategy. Keshav Shah, are placements going to be affected for upcoming batches? My friend who passed out from Tier 2 college, below average placement. True, this year it's going to be tough, but I think students who are joining now, this May, June, should be all right because they're going to be graduating 2 years later. The guys who are preparing for CAT now, that means you're preparing for CAT 2021, you'll be joining in 2022, graduating in 24. Won't matter. When to start topic-wise test in quant? This is Neelkant Saxena. When you finish a topic, do a few tests. I'm comfortable with it. Most of the topics, start having a test taking sheet. Mindspec Gamer 96, 85, 93 OBC engineering chances for ABC. Good CAT score, you're through. Your background is completely fine. Harsha Jain, I left my job in 2019 for CAT but couldn't score well. Is it okay if I drop again? No. At least don't ask me this question. I'm always going to say no. Fine. So I'm the guy who says don't quit your job. Unless you have lots of money and you simply don't care about the money part or the MBA part, don't quit your job. Shriya Mishra, academics 87, 72, 71, 1 year gap. One after 28 months of work experience, 216 pass out. That's all right. 28 months of work experience is completely fine. Your ACADS are not great, but if you get 99.9, it will open doors. Aditya Gandhi, student, final year BCom student, should I prepare for CAT or gain some work experience, then go for CAT? It is in your interest to prepare and take CAT now and crack. It is better to do an MBA after some work experience. It's easier to get in after work experience. But if you get into a good college, you must join. The value is loaded in favor of the student who has no experience. If you get the seat, it is tougher. Fine, but there are two careers people have. One is pre-MBA, other is post-MBA. Generally, the post-MBA career is markedly better than the pre-MBA career. If you have a career for 40 years, you can split it as 3 and 37 or 0 and 40. You should build a 0 and 40. The second half is better. Right? So if you get in, you must take it, but it's tougher to get in. I'm going to skip these questions which say this percentage, that percentage, that percentage. There's no one standard answer for that. So I'm going to skip those ones. This is guitar like us. I'm an agricultural BSc graduate. Go to ABM or MBA. Try for both. Very clear about rural management, about agri, being in the sector and making that count. Then go for ABM. Lovely. Some people are very clear that they want to be in agri. ABM is easier to get in. Apply for both. But if you get a regular MBA, you should take that. How to be focused on CAT prep given the corona scenario. Third year, I'm very uncertain about my college. Should I go for CAT 20? One, definitely go for CAT 2020. That decision is clear. How this corona is going to be there with us. Pain, it's a right royal pain in the neck, but it's going to be there with us. We have got to accept it. It's been there for so long, none of us can claim to be surprised by it. And the second wave being looking like it is sharper or bigger or deeper or wider or whatever adjective we throw to it is also a given. And now upon us. So we have to make our peace with it. We have to be ultra safe, ultra careful, ultra cautious. Be very careful, very clear not to get into a negative funk. Don't end up blaming everything. Uncertainty is there. I'm not saying embrace the uncertainty, that'll be corny. Nobody can embrace uncertainty and all that. But acknowledge it, accept it. Say that this is the reality of our life for 12 more months. Hopefully not longer than that. But for the next 12 months, nobody knows what's going to happen in the economy or healthcare or the virus spread or MBA admissions or online classes or Zoom, nothing, or stock markets, nothing. So accept the fact that uncertainty is all over us. Therefore, we have to fight harder. We have to take more effort to keep our discipline, focus, all of that. Commit to that amped up discipline from your end, then hope for the best. So don't talk to people, mental health, and it's an issue. So have a good peer group. If you have a good friend, he or she is worth their weight in gold. Engage with them, be available for them. Stick around with your old friends, connect, pick up the phone and think about who might be struggling, reach out to them. Carve out time to engage in that kind of social activity over phone or Zoom so that spirits are good, spirits are high. Accept that preparation, schedule, discipline, planning, everything is going to be tougher, but it's tougher for everyone. That is the hand we have been dealt as a whole country, as a whole world. We have to accept it and manage within those parameters. But what the situation taking away, your discipline should be able to bridge the gap. So it's tough, but not the end of the world. We should come through. I'm going to wind up sooner or later. I think most of the regular questions we've answered. I'm just going to see if there are a couple of questions that are different perhaps and then have a look at them. But otherwise, we've pretty much answered almost everything that is there. Finish algebra and number system. Should I start with arithmetic or geometry? Arithmetic. Between arithmetic and geometry, arithmetic. No doubt about it. Arithmetic is the mothership as far as CAT is concerned. Shashank Arkunde, will I be able to crack 2021 with 98 percentile if I start now? Oh, definitely yes. 98 percentile is very tough, but you still have 6 months, 7 months. It's possible. Whether it's going to happen, God knows. Possible. That much I can tell you. Lovely guys, wonderful having a chat. Many thanks for participating and giving such wonderful questions. Please do subscribe. Please click on the bell icon to make sure that you get all the notifications from us. We have a pipeline for April, May. We will be through this journey. If it turns out like it is threatening to that we're going into another set of lockdown and restricted thing, we'll amp up our online content, both on inside our platform in terms of live classes and on YouTube. We will keep the engagement going. We will make sure that we are available to shoot the breeze once in 2 weeks to just say hi, hello. We did it last year. We used the drill. We'll do it this year as well. Just so that it's a shared journey in some form. We'll keep our end of the bargain by being here and having this chat. That we will do. Between 3-4 of us, we'll make sure that we are present to answer these questions and have a chat. It's a wonderful journey, I can tell you that much. Preparing for CAT standalone in and of itself is brilliant. It helps you discover reserves of resilience in yourself you didn't know existed. It's uncertain, it's tough, challenging, competitive, but still fun, breezy, good, enriching, all of that. These are not contradictory. Something can be tough and fun. Something can be uncertain and challenging and be enriching. And the moment you accept that both are possible, you know what you're chasing for. Definitely commit to it. Definitely give it a go. Definitely accept the fact that there's rampant uncertainty. God knows what outcomes will be. But sign up for the ride. You will definitely be better off for it. That much I can tell you. In these times, it is a bleeding obvious decision to go online. No doubt about it. And I've never advocated online as aggressively as I'm doing now. Till about 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 1 year ago, pre-COVID, definitely, I used to tell people, if online works for you, go online. If classroom works for you, go for classroom. I'm never going to pitch online as a category just because we are offering an online course. But right now, you might be the most suited person for a classroom course. You have to go online because classroom courses are simply not there, or they're not reliable, they're not going to be there. I'm not blaming any provider, any type. We are a provider, we provide classroom coaching. And I've just sent an email to all our students saying we won't be having classroom classes for the next 2 months. We can't. It'll be borderline irresponsible to run it. This is the hand we have been dealt. Definitely go online. And if you're going online, don't go for the online transition of your classroom course. Go online. You're going online. You're going to learn with Zoom and a live class anyway. Why do you want to restrict yourself to the experience of learning online for somebody who went online 3 weeks ago with Zoom? The background work required to create a compelling online courses runs into years. We went online as a CAT providing company in 2014. And 2014 to 2017, we tripled our content. In 2017 to now, it's unrecognizable. We now have 7,000 videos in a video library on an LMS. We're adding another, we have 3,000, we're adding 4,000 in the next 3 weeks. That much staggered and put on a platform, super crucial, because learning online could be the easiest thing in the world, simultaneously the toughest thing in the world, because you need to have engagement levels and several other ways of keeping people switched on. And online companies, we are figuring out methods of engaging with our students every week, every day. So one fine morning, switching on a Zoom class and doing going to work. So if you're going online, which you must check out all online options. Keep that in mind and check the course content out for yourself. If you're ambitious, you're signing up to do an MBA, shelling out 20 lakh. Back yourself to spend 1 hour to validate the course. Don't say, "Mera Ram ka friend Krishna ka dost wo hai na, usne bola ki ye course acha hai." Obviously, he'll say. Probably most of the guys didn't even take the course seriously. So go and check out content for yourself, validate your hypothesis, then pick up a course. Wonderful, guys. I'm going to sign off. Do ping us on YouTube, on comments or chat anytime. We do reply to comments also afterwards. Once again, Happy New Year to all of you celebrating. Happy Tamil New Year, Happy Ugadi, Happy Vishu for all of you. Even if you're not in the calendar which has a Happy New Year thing, celebrate it. We are in India. We celebrate all festivals. Wonderful, guys. Best wishes for